Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us this evening for our Grade 8 Advanced Maths informational webinar. Great to see many of you on. Thank you for joining. My name is Crispian Lees. I'm the Head of Education at Advantage Learn, and I'm going to be talking to you about Grade 8 Advanced Maths and what Advanced Maths is all about. All right, so we're all here this evening to talk about Grade 8 Advanced Maths. This is not an extra maths program. This is an advanced maths program, which is all about taking learners who have potential in mathematics and developing exceptional skills in mathematics. And we're really excited to be starting it in term 3 of this year, with orientation starting on the 20th of July. In terms of what we're going to be covering this evening, I'll get to that in a moment. But first, let me just introduce AdvantageLearn.com for those of you who aren't familiar with us as an educational organization. Essentially, we help learners in the high school space, and we're focused on preparing learners for university success. So ensuring that learners are ready to excel beyond high school by doing the right things in high school. And our key purpose as an organization is to do our best to unlock potential in young people, to see potential, to see people reach their potential through high quality education. There's 4 areas that AdvantageLearn.com operates in: self-study resources, which is known as our NEO series, which is a solution that enables schools, learners, parents, guides to help learners to succeed in the tricky subjects of mathematics and physical science. Many schools use our NEO series resource as their prescribed textbook, and it adds a really helpful digital layer to schooling, so learners can also get additional support outside of the classroom. We then also help many grade 12s in national benchmark test preparation. The national benchmark test is an assessment that most learners who are applying to universities in South Africa will need to write in their grade 12 year. When I was back at school, it was something that I never had to do. But for instance, if a learner is applying to UCT, the University of Cape Town, the University of Cape Town requires that all applicants write the national benchmark test. And it is a test that Higher Education South Africa commissioned to assess academic readiness for tertiary study. So we help learners to prepare for those tests so that they can achieve the results that they need to get into the university and degree program that they're aspiring towards. That's a stepping stone towards the career that they're aspiring towards. We then assist learners in exam preparation, significantly in maths and physical science. And the domain that advanced maths fits into is our further studies domain. AdvantageLearn.com is the largest distance education provider of the further studies programs. And the further studies programs are IEB certificates that are benchmarked internationally to a UKA level. There are additional qualifications that all high school learners, no matter whether they're at an IEB school, a Sakai school, a DBE school, that all high school learners can undertake and work towards to write in their matric year. For the parents in the room, you might remember this subject as add maths, additional mathematics. The program, when it was part of the National Senior Certificate, was called Add Maths. It then got recertified by the IEB and became Advanced Program Maths. And then when the IEB launched the International Secondary Certificate, it was again renamed to Further Studies Maths. And there are now programs in Further Studies Maths, Further Studies Physics, Further Studies Chemistry, and Further Studies English. And we support learners to work towards that additional qualification, which is a really valuable qualification in terms of university readiness and in terms of opening doors to international tertiary institutions. Okay, and advanced maths fits within the further studies domain. So we have a program, the grade 8 advanced maths program starting this year, and we've been running the grade 9 advanced maths program for quite some time because we noticed that in grade 8 and 9, there are learners that really need to be extended and challenged. Extra maths, support in maths is a separate thing. There are learners that need to be extended and challenged. And so the advanced maths program is there for grade 8 and 9 learners to help them with that and to ensure that they are ready and at the level they need to be to then undertake the further studies maths program, which starts in grade 10 and goes all the way to grade 12. So that is AdvantageLearn.com, who we are and the domains that we work in. And what we're talking about this evening, advanced maths, falls within our further studies domain of learning. All right. Now, before we get into everything about advanced maths, I just want to give you a brief overview of the agenda for tonight. So we're going through introductions and how the evening will run. I do have a special guest on with me this evening who will come up in a moment, not just yet. Nicola Aliquo, who is a learner on our grade 9 advanced maths program, and we felt it would be really valuable for you to actually hear from one of our current learners in terms of how the program is going for him. So that's the first thing we will do, is hear from Nicola. We'll then get into why advanced maths, how it works and what's included. We'll then talk to dates, fees, and how to register. And lastly, we'll open up for any questions that you might have that I can answer. We're starting with Nicola because he's kindly agreed to join the webinar while his grade 9 advanced maths class is happening in parallel. And so we'd like to start with him. So as soon as he's finished, he can join his grade 9 advanced maths with Trish and drop off from the webinar. So let's get going with hearing from Nicola. And Nicola, maybe I'm going to ask Nicola just a few questions to get his perspective on advanced maths. But Nicola, if you can maybe just start off with a brief introduction, who you are, where you're from, before I lead off with the other questions.
All right. Hi, I am Nicola Alikwa.
Sorry.
I am from Paul in the Western Cape, just like 30 minutes out from Cape Town. Uh, I wasn't prepared to give an introduction. I'm not sure what else I should say. But
No,
I've
that's
been
brilliant.
I joined Advantage Learn like this year. This is my first year with Advantage Learn, and we're in the second term currently.
Great. Thank you, Nicola Aliqua. It's an interesting surname. I hope I got it right the second time.
Yes, you did. It's Italian.
Brilliant. Okay, great. So, Nicola, just a couple of questions for everyone who's joined us. So, first off, why did you join grade 9 advanced maths this year?
A lot of people have just commended my math ability and said that I should be extended. And I have been interested in, like, very vaguely interested in a lot of things that are very math heavy, like, for example, like rockets and astronomy. Um, and I figured that if I wanted to ever pursue those things as a career in the future, that I would want to have to take this opportunity to become better at math so I can, go on and become like a rocket scientist or whatever. That's
Great.
out there, but like that general area.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So you've got a flair for mathematics and you can see yourself doing a career that has a lot of maths in it.
Yes,
Um,
that's correct. Yes.
Wonderful. And since you've joined, so you joined grade 9 advanced maths at the start of this year. And
Yes.
how has the program impacted you and your learning this year?
Positively. I don't have much like specific to say, but just generally, I think it's fun. It's morale boosting, and I have been able to hone my time management with it more, I would say.
Great. What things stand out for you about the program?
First and foremost, just the people. The Miss Pike and every other teacher that I've had the pleasure of meeting, they show themselves to be very, very smart minds that genuinely care about the material that they are teaching here. And I just think that's really important for a teacher to have. And it's really helped with learning that the
Wonderful.
teachers care.
Thank you. Thank you. And to the parents and learners in the room this evening, what advice would you give to grade 8 or grade 9 learners who are considering advanced maths?
Very simply, very broadly, I'd just say go for it because at the end of the day, even if you don't go ahead with maths or something, let's say you fail, you will have honed your time management and you'll have honed your focus and you'll have created a foundation for yourself that'll make at least the math in the coming grades much easier and smoother for you. But if you succeed, if you really give it your all and you do make it and you do well, you're going to give yourself a very, very, very strong foundation to have a very, very, very bright future.
Thank you, Nicola. I really appreciate that. Yeah, those are the only questions I had. If you have any other thoughts to share, please do. Otherwise, I will. It's important that you get back to your grade 9 advanced maths class. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers. All right, so you got to hear from one of our learners, which is always helpful. Nicola Aliqua is at Tenio Online School and is really excelling in his mathematics. And it's a nice follow-on to talk about why advanced maths. And I think Nicola touched on it to some extent. So I think that there's three kind of thought-provoking questions there for learners and or parents. Do you enjoy maths but find yourself drifting away during the lesson? Are you understanding your maths well but performing below your potential? Are you concerned that you're not being sufficiently challenged or extended? Um, and what a key theme that happens with high potential learners who are gifted with really smart minds is that oftentimes they disengage in the classroom because they're bored. They're not finding the subject matter sufficiently challenging to keep them engaged. And so sometimes learners with exceptionally high potential in maths don't actually perform very well, but for the simple reason that they're not engaged in their lessons and they're somewhat bored. Um, some learners perform very well in math, are very gifted with very smart minds, and in grade 8 and 9 they perform very well. They don't have to put much effort in, they don't have to work diligently at their homework, and yet they do perform highly because they're gifted with a smart mind. They pick things up quickly. They're able to apply it easily, um, and that's really great. And I think some learners on this evening can relate to that. But the problem with that is that those learners are not being extended, and they could be um, they they could be growing their abilities at a much faster rate. And the fact that they're not being challenged and extended and not having to be diligent and consistent in their homework or in their study timetables can actually be a negative consequence in that those learners don't learn um, the work ethic that is required to succeed as you continue in high school and then into tertiary study. And so it's really important that learners that have high potential in the subject are challenged and extended because it helps them to reach their full potential, but it also helps them to develop a positive work ethic that is arguably just as important as, if not more important, than their innate aptitude. Aptitude without work ethic is is really meaningless. They have to be coupled together to really produce an extraordinary contributor in the world. And so, if any of these questions resonated with you in grade 8, then you really should be considering advanced maths. The other thing that's really important is that what we have noticed, it's been a turbulent couple of years with COVID and the setbacks to learning that have happened as a result of COVID, is that our learners that are joining further studies maths at a grade 10 level are not at the level that they need to be to succeed in further studies maths. Okay, it's a generalization. It's not all our learners, but and so there is also a need to improve the standards at a grade 8 and 9 level and extend learners so that learners in grade 8 and grade 9 are achieving at the levels that they need to succeed in further studies maths, which is a stepping stone to success at university. And so advanced maths is all about that challenge and extension that some learners really need to have an enriching education in those years. All right. So what is grade 8 advanced maths? It's a high impact maths extension program. It's designed to challenge and grow high potential learners and take their thinking beyond the standard syllabus. So what's fantastic is that our grade 8 advanced maths learners will be taught by Trish Pike, who is an absolute master at what she does. She's been teaching high school learners in maths for decades. She is deeply cares for developing young mathematicians. And in advanced maths, she'll focus on strengthening core concepts to a level of mastery in grade 8, extending problem solving, and making sure that learners develop the skills so that they're ready for further studies maths when they get to grade 10. So in terms of strengthening core concepts, Trish will focus on deepening the grade 8 foundations that everything else builds on. She's going to focus on the language of mathematics, algebra, and equations, and ensuring that learners are conversant in the language of mathematics. She's going to work on spatial relations via geometry, which is a really important component to mathematics. And then on the visualization of mathematics through graphs and graphing. Um, because if learners can see maths through graphs and how numbers behave when they're expressed as an algebraic function, they can more deeply understand the mathematics and how the algebra is working. Okay, so those are the areas that Trish is really going to focus on, ensuring that grade 8 learners achieve mastery in those domains and that they're extended in those domains at that level. Another aspect that she is really going to focus on is fractions. Fractions in the context of algebra. It is an incredibly tricky skill that takes a while to develop and consistency and practice, but it is fundamental to ongoing success in mathematics. And so those are the core concepts that Trish is really going to ensure that the class achieves mastery in, and then they're extended via with challenging and exciting problem-solving type questions. All right. As I've mentioned, in terms of what makes this program different, the first element is the expert faculty that we have at AdvantageLearn.com. And this class will be led by one of our founders, Trish Pike, an experienced curriculum specialist who loves extending young mathematicians. This program is built for high performers. This is not extra maths to help learners to pass mathematics. This is a program to help learners who have potential in mathematics and are already relatively strong in mathematics, and helping them to be exceptional in mathematics. So for learners to be considered for the advanced maths program, they need to be achieving at least 60% in maths currently. And so the class will be full of motivated peers who are interested in maths and extending themselves. As I mentioned, it's structured for mastery, so achieving mastery in the core concepts that are foundational to ongoing success in mathematics. This year will be 14 weeks of live online lessons that are 60 minutes in length, where learners will work through the syllabus via the worksheets that are distributed each week, and they will undertake benchmark assessments each term to see how they're progressing. And the advanced maths program really is a pathway to further studies maths, which starts in grade 10. All right. So in terms of what's included, the live online lessons are a core component to the program. We have a wonderful live online setting where, in a different from tonight's webinar, where you can see me but I can see you, our learners meet on Zoom meetings with focus mode activated. And what that enables is that Trish can see each learner in the room with the learners can see Trish, but the learners actually don't see one another in those settings. And that enables them to focus. While they can hear one another, they don't see one another. And it enables learners to be themselves, be less self-conscious in the live online classroom, but still be really engaged by seeing their educator, the educator seeing them and being able to ask questions. So Trish will have a specialized curriculum that she will go through, including the concepts that I mentioned. And then there will be termly benchmark assessments, one per term to track your progress. And these benchmark assessments are really, really helpful in that our learners are from all over the country, from various schools. And sometimes it's a key concern of, how is my knowledge versus everyone else? I know how I'm faring in my class, at my school, in my city, town, province, but am I up to scratch when compared to a learner from a different school? And so these termly benchmark assessments will give learners a sense for how their level of achievement against a countrywide class of learners. Our programs are exceptionally well supported. Not only will learners meet with Trish once a week live online and have access to her via the class WhatsApp group, but learners and parents will also be supported by our lead coordinator for the further studies programs, Ariane Gordon, and she'll make sure that parents or learners are up to date with everything that is going on. And then over and above the WhatsApp group, learners can also go onto our online platform and engage in live chat during the day and ask academic questions if they want to, which they can also ask via the WhatsApp group, and Trish will get back to them. Included in a grade 8 advanced maths is access to our Neo Series Maths library, which is a library of video resources that learners can use to support them in mathematics. It is the full curriculum from grade 8 to 12 in bite-sized video lessons, largely produced by Trish Pike, where learners can go into the maths library, search a concept that they might be struggling with, and find a theory, worked example, practice exercise lesson that teaches them the theory, shows them how to apply it, and helps them in practicing that concept. And that is made available to our grade 8 advanced maths learners at no additional cost to support them. The program is fully online. The termly benchmark assessments will be written and invigilated remotely in learners' settings. And that is an overview of everything that the program consists of. So, is this for you or your child? It's a great fit if you're in grade 8 and already performing well in maths with a term mark of 60% or higher. If you want to stretch your ability beyond the standard syllabus, and if it's clear and if there is a high probability that you're going to head towards a math-focused career like engineering, medicine, actuarial science, or commerce. And then if you thrive on a challenge and you know that you want to be at the level that you need to be to undertake further studies maths at a grade 10 level. Those are the key considerations. But at the end of the day, if you're relatively strong at maths and you enjoy maths, this is something that you really should consider doing. And the results really do speak for themselves. The grade 9 advanced maths class last year achieved an average 33% increase in their results over the year. And the structure of the program, the quality of Trish's teaching, and the curriculum, the specialized curriculum that has been developed, really does deliver proven results for learners. And the goal is that learners improve their results significantly. The reason that we admit learners that are 60% or higher is because our admissions criterion for further studies maths is 70%. Learners need to be achieving 70% or above at the end of grade 9 maths to be considered for further studies maths in grade 10. And we're confident in this program, if learners apply themselves and are consistent with the structure of the program, that they will achieve an increase in their results of at least 10%. So a learner that's currently achieving 60%, if they're diligent in applying themselves on the program, we expect that they will improve by at least 10% and get above that 70% threshold to be ready for further studies maths in grade 10. But a learner who's above that will see similar increases in results, and the results really do speak for themselves. In terms of dates and fees, our pricing is all-inclusive pricing. For the upfront fee for term 3 and term 4 is 3,825 Rand per learner, invoiced and paid in one upfront payment, and that receives a 10% upfront discount. We do have another payment option available where you can pay for the program in 2 payments, one at the start of the program and one halfway through it. And that includes everything that I've already mentioned. Orientation. The orientation session for the program starts on the 20th of July, and the first lesson is on the 27th of July. Live online lessons will be on a Monday from 5:30 to 6:30 weekly during term time. And those are all of the major details. If you would like to take this forward and apply it to grade 8 advanced maths, you can simply go to advantagelearn.com, navigate to grade 8 advanced maths, and apply via our website. I am going to drop a link in the chat directly to our grade 8 advanced maths webpage where the application is. Thank you everyone for your time and attention this evening. We would love to see you or your children on the grade 8 advanced maths program. We were founded as an organization in Ad Maths. I took it when I was in high school. I went on to study chemical engineering, and I remember how much the extension that Ad Maths gave me and the grounding that Ad Maths gave me helped in my university years. And it opened up so many doors in that I, first of all, had a very compelling exit qualification, a strong national senior certificate, and a strong result on Ad Maths, which was very compelling for bursary opportunities. And I managed to land a SASL bursary. I was first fortunate enough to land a SASL bursary. And then I continued to, on the basis of that foundation and extension, do very well at a university level, which meant that I was able to complete my degree in minimum time, maintain that bursary with SASL through the 4-year program, and also receive other fantastic opportunities for fee remissions via the university's the university fee remissions that are based on performance. Um, I went on to do my master's, and then I went on to work for Sasol for 4 years at their Sasolburg plant as a chemical engineer, where I worked on the catalyst plant as a plant engineer, and then I worked in the research and development department in environmental engineering, where I worked on wastewater treatment. And yeah, it all started with a really strong foundation in mathematics and advanced ability in mathematics, which AdMaths really set me up for. Engineering was an absolutely fascinating degree. I really enjoyed it, but I love teaching. And so I came back to join advantagelearn.com and to teach. Um, and so thank you for your time and attention. We hope to see many learners on the Grade 8 Advanced Maths program. Have a lovely evening, and good night from us.